Are you thinking about submitting books to CBCS to be slabbed, but you haven't had a chance to check out their new case since the change last year? In this video, I'm going to share 5 thoughts I had on the new CBCS case. Let's check it out. In the summer of 2020, CBCS released its new case, and they did so in style. Content creators and social media influencers were shipped out a pair of 9.8 Amazing Fantasy 15 facsimile editions. One came in their existing case and the other came in the new case, so that these content creators could have an apples to apples comparison of the two cases. I was a little late to the buffet. This was just a few months after I started the channel, and unfortunately we did not make the cut for those awesome review sets, but I was able to reach out to a contact I have at CBCS, and they were kind enough to track down a sample of the new case for me, and they sent it out. So I want to begin this video with sending a big shout out to CBCS for the sample. Now, let's dive into my thoughts on the new CBCS holder. Number 1, the new case has spent some serious time in the weight room. The plastic used to make these new cases is noticeably stronger and more rigid than the plastic used in the original CBCS holder. Gone are the days where you could take a CBCS case and flex, twist, or squeeze it just because you can. There is no doubt that some of the increased strength comes from the sides of the case, which are now sealed together, unlike the previous case where they were well known for being able to be easily pulled apart. Also of note with the new case is the absence of the 4 clips that join the front and back of the outer well. The removal of the clips from the case design will have a major impact and an aesthetic improvement we're going to talk about in just a bit. But to sum up my first thought, the new materials and design of the updated case really close the gap between CBCS and CGC's cases. The previous case always felt structurally weaker than the case used by CBCS's main competitor, but the new case levels the playing field. Thought number 2, clarity is king. When you get right down to it, the case has 2 jobs. First, it has to protect the book inside, and secondly, it displays the book. What's the point of slabbing a book if the case detracts from the presentation of the book inside? The new CBCS case shows large gains in this category as well, as its clarity outpaces that of the previous holder. The plastic is bright and glossy, lacking the haziness or foggy appearance seen in the previous holder. To put it simply, the clarity in the plastic makes the label and the book look brighter and sharper, enhancing the overall eye appeal of the slabbed book. The difference in appearance between the old case and the new case appears to be comparable to the difference between putting a raw book in a regular poly bag versus a Mylar bag. I think you'll be more than happy with how your books present in the new case. Hey, if you're getting value out of today's video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet and are looking for comic book collecting or comic book investing content, be sure to click subscribe for more of that. Your likes, comments, shares, and subs let YouTube know that you enjoy the content, and it is an easy and inexpensive way for you to help support the channel. Now, let's get back to thought number 3 on this new CBCS case. A new wraparound label brings a major enhancement to how CBCS slabs look in a storage box. The new, slightly larger label extends from the front of the book, wraps around the top of the book in the inner well, and then folds down for the back label. As I mentioned earlier, the redesigned case no longer has the clips at the corners of the top and bottom to hold the front and back of the case together. So with the clips gone, the label on the top of the book now runs the full width of the label across the top of the case. This extension of the label window and the new tri-fold label allow for a larger, more professional looking label at the top of the book, as earlier versions of the case just had a small sticker-like label at the top. Additionally, this change has caused the whole label to shift higher inside the case, which allows for more open space between the top of the book and the bottom of the label, which helps further accent the book within the case. This enhanced floating effect helps separate the book from the case, which really makes the book pop. The top-down appearance of these new CBCS cases is a significant improvement. Number 4, square corners are out and rounded corners are in. One of the first things I noticed about the case is there is a general softening of its features. This is most noticeable in the corners of the case, where newly rounded corners have replaced the boxier original design. The built-in ridges and channels that allow multiple cases to interlock to reduce shifting have been updated to include more rounded features as well. Overall, the new case is just slightly shorter than the previous version, which does cause some issues with how the new and old cases lock together. If you don't bag your slabs, that might be an issue for you, but I highly recommend keeping your slabs in Mylites or some other form of Mylar to cut down on the rubbing and scuffing on your slab cases. Despite the issues with new and old cases locking together, the more rounded features are more aesthetically pleasing and are another improvement to the overall presentation of CBCS's case. To be honest, I like the interlocking design of CBCS's case more than CGC's, as CGC's just has small corner ridges to lock their books in place, and in my experience, those are prone to breakage. My fifth and final thought in regards to the new holder: it's a great new holder, but it's the same old label. The change to the wraparound label structure is a big step forward for CBCS, but the new case is still being held back by one of CBCS's most persistent complaints: an uninspiring label design. The plain design of the label continues to leave collectors wanting. However, the increase in the font size of the assigned grade does provide additional emphasis for the grade on the label. This small but effective change helps to catch your attention while holding the book, especially compared to earlier designs of the label, where the smaller font faded into the overall layout of the label. If CBCS can find the secret ingredient that collectors love about CGC's label design and incorporate that into their own labels with this new and improved holder, then the sky is the limit for them. All things considered, I'm very excited for CBCS's new case. The improvements made to the holder have addressed many of the issues collectors have voiced since the company first came on the scene. In my opinion, the boost in the holder's transparency and strength are 100% on par with CGC's current case, with the added benefit of no Newton rings. If you are on the fence in regard to CBCS's new case, I think you will be more than satisfied with the improvements that they've made, and will find that your books will present exceptionally well in the newly redesigned holder. Once again, I'd like to thank CBCS for offering this review sample to the channel. Happy hunting out there, and don't forget to collect responsibly. I will see you in the next video.